In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Masuya Monokaki notebook. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a paper test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this notebook coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. Here we have the Masuya Monokaki notebook. This is a notebook that I bought from Itoya in Tokyo in, I think, 2015. I had no idea if it would be good or not. I just kind of liked the cover of the notebook and thought it was interesting. So going into the specs here, it's got 160 pages of this cream colored paper. It's quite a thin paper, but it is very fountain pen friendly. This size is a B6. It comes in, I believe, an A6. It comes in a A5. This is just it with against an A5 notebook, so you can see the size difference. It also comes in like a slim pocket version. I really like this B6 size, and I like the A5 size the best. But anyway, 160 pages of this nice thin paper. There are 10 signatures. You can see quite a bit of glue there, but it is a stitched binding. The ruling is 9mm, so it's pretty wide spacing. On the outside, we have this little quarter jacket here, which just has some information in Japanese on the back. Monokaki. 950. This was 950 yen. Unfortunately, in the US, the prices are higher. It's made in Japan. Again, 9mm rule, and this is that B6 size and 160 pages. So let me take this off. Now, again, I said that the reason that I bought this notebook was the cover, and I do really like this cover. It sort of has a classic notebook look with this taped spine here, and it has this nice Ichizen washi paper, which I really like. Now, if you look closely at the design here, it's kind of a fun design. It was designed by a manga artist named Ryo Takai, and you have basically like a goldfish bowl here, flowers, and then we have a fountain pen and an inkwell on both sides, and then there's like an oil lamp, and again that fishbowl, and then here we have cats and I believe fish again, and that is repeated here and on the sides. It's an interesting kind of fun design. Monokaki means person who writes, or at least that's what I'm told. Good name for a notebook. So on the inside we have this sort of dark blue, almost black paste down here. It's like a construction paper, and the paste down here isn't exactly perfectly glued, you know, to the cover. It's kind of the same on the back. So when you open it, you can kind of feel that it's not, I don't know, perfectly attached to that cover. Now, there's not really any features to this. We really just go right into the paper, and you'll notice that we have a nice cream colored paper here with a big margin up top, thick blue lines at the top and bottom, and again, 9mm rule here. So pretty wide rule. I'm not sure what these little spaces are here. I don't know, maybe that's to help with writing, you know, in Japanese. Not sure what those are used for. Now, let's go to the paper test. So looking at the paper test here, there's nothing really wrong with the fountain pens. I don't really get any bleeding. You know, maybe there's just a touch of feathering on the Mont Blanc and maybe the Schaefer here on these Fs. I think it's really more just the texture of this paper than it is actually feathering. The rest of the pens look pretty good. I don't see any real issues there. Now, on the back, there's zero bleed through from any of the fountain pens. Of course, the Sharpie did fail, Pilot oil drawing pen, Stettler Lumo permanent marker, Copic sketch went right through. And we do see a little bit of spotting from the Oto Fudeball, the Uniball Air Micro, the Pentel Energel, the 1mm version, and actually a little bit from the fine liner, this Stettler pigment liner, and the Stabilo sensor, and maybe just a touch from the Pilot G2. You'll notice, again, this paper is really, really thin. So ghosting is definitely a problem with this paper, but it does hold fountain pen ink really, really nicely. So, you know, I mean, this isn't a Tomoe River type paper, but if you do like a thin paper that's good with fountain pen ink, this could be a good option. Now, in terms of the spine, we have 10 signatures, and I find that it's not that flexible. I mean, yes, with some effort I can make it do this. It won't, you know, flip back closed, but you'll notice that it's not very flat down on the table. In using these notebooks, I do find that to be a little bit annoying. It does not have the best lie flat kind of binding. But other than that, I do like this notebook. I like the paper in it. I think the paper is quite nice, and I love the cover. So what are my pros and cons for the Monokaki notebook? Well, I think the number one pro for me is the fountain pen friendly paper. It's quite thin, but it holds up to fountain pen ink really nicely. I also really like this sort of classical looking washi paper cover. It's really nice, and I like the fun details that they put in it. It's quite nice. Now, in terms of cons, for me the biggest con is actually the binding. It is a thread stitched binding, but it's pretty hard to get to lie flat. The more that you use one of these, the better, you know, it gets. It's not as good as some of the other notebooks that I've tested on this channel, and you know, I do find having to flatten the notebook more than I would like. The other con I would say is getting one of these for a good price. Now, I bought this in Japan and it was 950 yen, so under $10. It's a little bit hard to buy these in the States. I see them on Amazon. I see this B6 size for $22 on Amazon. I think the A5 versions on Amazon are like $33. And that's, to me, that's too much. There isn't enough value here unless you really love this washi paper cover. I don't think it's worth it. If you can find one of these, you know, the A5 size for $20 or around $20, I think that's a pretty good deal. You know, this one should be more like $15 to $10. That's pretty much it. So, do you guys have this notebook? Do you like this notebook? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.